Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Jonathan Holland, founder and CEO of Curexe. I'm going to do another technical analysis market update on the US dollar to Canadian dollar because there's a lot of interesting movements in the actual market. So, just to give some context for those of you that are first time listeners, I've been a trader in the stock market since 2008. And during this time, I learned how to what's called use technical analysis. And technical analysis is essentially chart patterns that traders use to find better times to enter and exit markets. So, for an example, traders look for certain bottom levels that are called support, which is kind of indicated back over in July when the trend started going up. As you can see, it bounced off in July, came back down around October, and it's bouncing pretty healthily along this straight line. So, what traders want to do is look to buy the currency, so buy US dollars off that line, and they're hoping that they get bounces up where they can sell it for a profit. And this is what actually drives the markets in the short term. Now, this affects businesses and individuals that exchange currency because it's actually changing the exchange rate, or which is just a fancy way of saying what the price is for US dollars if you're holding Canadian. So, as you can see here, I had a really strong bounce and kind of trended up. This was kind of, there's some big economic news that came out. There's a lot of different macroeconomic factors to make that bounce happen, but it also came back down to the psychological level. And again, you're having a bounce off this line. So that really firms that the support line, this is called the support line, is a very firm play. Now, if you look over in April 2016, this actually broke through support. Now, when it happens where it breaks through support, it's kind of the Wild West. Traders will short it, meaning they're selling the US dollars and it pushes the price down. And then you kind of have to wait until the traders find a psychological level that they think is normal. And then what happens is a new support line gets drawn. So as you can see, we had a really strong support here because we have two crossing lines between the last support and the new support that's being formed. And because we had a strong bounce off this level, that kind of indicates that this is a good level to be buying around this line. And then now the trend continues. So you have these bounces up off the line, these different areas that it trends up, and then it comes back down and tests the support levels again. Now, what was also interesting is that it was forming a really strong what's called resistance. So there's support and resistance. Resistance is basically an area where you want to almost sell those US dollars. So as you can see, it comes up to this high level here. That's a better time to sell your US dollars back to Canadian dollars. And then you kind of look to buy around the support levels, and you can kind of see with the charts, it just makes it easier to buy and sell. Now, sometimes you have a little tricky scenarios where it looks like it's breaking above the resistance. If it breaks above the resistance with strong volumes, meaning it really aggressively climbs, the resistance line actually becomes the new support level. So it actually can continue to trend much higher. But in this case, we kind of tested the resistance, but broke back down. And clearly it was a sign that the support level wasn't able to be sustained. And we had a big, not negative news, but the Bank of Canada actually increased the central bank rate from 0.5% to 0.75%. And when any central bank increases the interest rates, the currency then gets stronger. So what you're seeing here is actually Canadian dollar strength, not US dollar weakness. But because there's Canadian dollar strength, the US dollar to Canadian conversion or exchange rate ends up declining. So now we're in this another wild, wild west area where we're waiting to see a new support level, which will be drawn out down here, start to form. And we're not really sure where that's going to be yet. We don't know if it's going to stay at this level, and this is the new support, at which point this old support would look like more of the resistance. So you'd want to sell towards this level, and you'd want to be buying along this level. But we don't know how far it can go, and it's very tricky to know for sure where these markets are going. But the reason I do these videos is to give you kind of a high level understanding of what traders do when they're buying and selling your currency. Now, they make a living off this just to make profits, but you as a business owner, this matters to you. If you're paid in US dollars today, exchanging it to Canadian dollars, if you're getting less Canadian dollars for the US dollars you're bringing in, this can actually hurt your margins for the business. So it's actually a serious thing, and it should be something not taken lightly, which is why you should look at experts in foreign exchange, other foreign exchange companies, people that can help and give this kind of insight. It might help your business out. So I'd advise you to speak to someone if you're doing a lot of foreign exchange, not necessarily at your bank because the fees are very high. It can be upwards of 5% they take away from you. So for an example, this is where the exchange rate is today. They'll give you at 5% less if they're buying it off of you, or they'll sell it back to you, sell it back to you for 5% cheaper, which is insane. I mean, you might get a rate that's closer down here, which doesn't make any sense. So be careful of that with the banks. There's a lot of good foreign exchange companies out there. I built a business around this, so that's why I'm very knowledgeable and I love the industry. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can visit our website at curexe.com. That's curexe.com. Leave us a message on there or give me a call at area code 289-968-7422. I'd be happy to chat and give you all the different options out there to help your business. Thanks so much, guys.